welcome back to Messed Up to Setups. Micahel Halcomb, and I'm here with comedian Joe Scrocca. And if you missed part one of our interview, it was awesome. Joe was talking about how he's done over 60 shows in his first year of comedy, and he gets down into the business aspects of comedy. But in this episode, we're going to get into jokes. Uh, Joe has agreed to share a joke with us that he's got finished, and we're gonna just talk. After he tells it, we're gonna go back through it and dissect it a little bit. Um, yeah, I love doing this sort of pulling the curtains back on the joke telling and joke writing, the joke formation process.
It's all messed up, yeah. Everything's messed up. We're going from this mess up to the next setup. Everything seems so messed up, but it's just our setup.
I love this. Joe, good to have you back. You want to tell us a joke you got? It can be a one-liner, a story, whatever you want.
This is one of the first ones that I've done, and I still do it. And this is how it sounds now. So once I'm done, I'll kind of backtrack.
All right.
So when I was a little kid, my mother thought I was really stupid. She didn't think that I knew my name. So she bought me this ridiculous shirt that said, "Hello, my name is Joseph John." When I think back on that, she was serving me up to the pedophiles on a silver platter with that stupid shirt. So I wore this shirt to school one day. And as I'm walking home, this weird guy in a van pulls up next to me. "Hey, Joseph John, why don't you get in the van? I've got some candy." "Hey, Joseph John, why don't you get in the van? I've got a puppy." I didn't know who he was talking to. My mother was right. I didn't know my name. So that's the joke. Um, and my mother really did buy me a shirt when I was a little kid that says, "Hello, my name is Joseph John." And at first, part one of the interview, we talked about my wife who had passed away, Renee. And one day we're at my mother's house, and she's just going through some boxes and finds this shirt. I thought she was having a heart attack. She was laughing so hard. She said, "Your mother actually, you wore the shirt." I said, "No, I never wore that shirt. I never." So the shirt part is true. The pedophiles and the guy in the van, none of that's true. But I started out where I had an earlier part, and I pulled it out because I used a non-vulgar word, but a word that tends to be offensive. But I was talking about me, so I thought it was all right, and people said no. So it originally started out, when I was a little kid, my mother thought I had some mental disabilities. She'd gone to a child psychiatrist and said, "I think my son might be mentally retarded." And he said, "Well, why do you think that?" And she showed him a picture of that I colored, and I just scribbled. I didn't color in the lines. I said, "Okay, what else?" She says, "Well, no, that's it." I said, "Well, I don't think your child is mentally retarded. I think he's a little weird." And then I go into the shirt. So I cut out that whole first part because we don't want to use the R word, and I didn't want to I don't ever want to offend anybody with my comedy. I do my best not to offend anybody. I know we're a clean show here, but
Yes.
I do have several bits that refer to either gay jokes or transvestites, things like that. But in a tasteful manner. I don't offend them. I don't belittle them. They're just very funny and they're comical, and they are to a certain degree things that have happened to me. I don't look to offend anybody or try to offend anybody. So I took that part of the joke out. And then, I have this other joke, totally unrelated, for a trip that I took alone to Florida, which is true. And I went to Fort Lauderdale, and I was getting tired of hanging by the pool by myself, so I did a little sightseeing, and I came across a little town called Wilton Manors, which I really did. And it's the second gayest town in America. Now, I'm not gay, but I decided, let me go have a drink in a gay bar. So I'm sitting at the bar minding my own business, and this guy said, "How much?" He does this with these. How much what? how much hair do you have under that shirt? Nobody's ever asked me that question before. I had no idea how to answer it. So on stage, I lifted my shirt. I said, so I showed him. Now this guy starts petting my chest hair. I figure, okay, I'll be his little Italian chia pet for a while. Maybe I'll get a free drink. I said, but not below the equator. I'm not gay. So he gets right in my face and says, sweetie, if you ever want to change teams, you give me a call. I'd love to be your coach. And he hands me his phone number and walks away. That's where that story ended. And over 7 months, I thought, wait a minute, this is a great callback opportunity. So I say, he handed me his number and starts walking away. And as he's walking away, he turns around and he asks me, when you were a little kid, did you have a shirt that said, hello, my name is Joseph John? And that
Nice,
gets a huge, huge laugh. And
nice.
depending, if it's a really good laugh, then I'll go for broke and I'll say, and he really did have a puppy. If it's a moderate laugh, I'll just leave it and move on, you know.
I thought
But
you were gonna say the shirt you were wearing was the "Hello, I'm Joseph John" shirt. So
it's like this big. It's I mean I was a little kid when my mother got it, but I should probably get bear with me 1 second. I should probably get merch that says that because a lot of people. That's one of the you know
that
people think
sticks.
I
Yeah,
I'm telling stories, but people say, oh, they come up to me and tell me, oh, I love that story. That was hilarious. Did that really happen to you? And I tell them, the parts that were true and the parts that were embellished. But it's just, but what I wanted to point out is that the writing process is it's like a living, breathing
yeah,
thing. I mean, you don't write a joke and get complacent with it. It's how can I make it funny or can I make it better?
right.
And then when I kind of tightened up the shirt part, it took me 7 months to realize I have a callback here. I have a
Right.
callback here, and it works like unbelievable. And so that's. I mean, do we need to explain what a callback is, or
Yeah, I
do you?
mean, you can.
Okay,
People
so
watching or listening
what a
might not know.
callback is where you tell a joke early in your set, let's say, and then towards the end of your set, you call it back by referring back to it in the body of another joke or story,
Yeah,
and so that's what a callback is, and it just hit well, but that's just things just it's like light bulbs. It all of a sudden it's like, hey, wait a minute, or something will pop into my mind of something that happened 20 years ago that I forgot all about, and said that would be funny. Let me jot it down. Let me try to create
yeah.
the story. And so that's really the process, and that's how that's how what I do on stage
I
got there.
love that. I love that. Yeah, same. The phone. Like I have a list of joke premises, right? Ideas, joke topics, all of that I just keep. It's running. Like it never stops. If I just see something, or hear something, think of something, and there's just a running list in there, and it's something to always come back to. And so you have that running list, and then you have, of course, the news every day, which is a constantly running list that you can get content from. It's less personal, but still something to work with. And I try to write every day.
See,
Um,
but see,
yeah,
you're in that cocoon, so to speak, of Hawaii.
yeah,
Because where I'm at, everybody's doing the current events. Everybody.
yeah,
The
right,
only thing like, I did a show on Monday in New York City, and they said, "How do you want to be intro?" Just say he drove up from New Jersey fighting all that drone traffic. That's the extent of it because they've beaten the
right,
drones to death. I mean, I really didn't want.
right,
But I thought as an intro because I'm not one to pat myself. Oh, he's appeared here. I don't. I like to say silly stuff like that.
yeah,
One time I told the MC to introduce me to Joe Scrocca, and he tied his shoes really good tonight so he won't trip on stage. Stuff like that. Um, but if it's like a current event and it's irrelevant to where I'm at, I always like to try to open every show with something relevant to that area. So if
yeah,
I, am at a spot and there is something that's a current event or a relatively new news story. I mean, I was going to do something and I ran it by a few people. I didn't do it in an open mic, and it was like it got like moderate laughter. So I said maybe I shouldn't do it, but it was and this was all true. I was on my way up to a show, listening to the news in the car, and they were talking about the drones in the Northeast.
Yeah.
They were talking about Luigi allegedly shooting the healthcare CEO and then getting caught in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Now they want to stiff the poor McDonald's worker for the reward because they called the wrong number and all that. To me, that's all news. Now, for whatever reason, nothing happened in the middle of the country. Fast forward to Bend, Oregon. The same news story, the big story in Bend, Oregon. Somebody's gluing googly eyes to statues. Okay, I guess that's news, but how do you go from these drones that we don't know what the heck they are
Right.
to like the CEO murder and the capture of the guy that murdered the CEO to googly eyes on statues? It was like, for
Uh,
real? Am I listening to the same news? Did I change to Nickelodeon News or something on the, by accident? It's like, so
that's the joke right there, man. That's good stuff. Googly eye.
it is, but I just, I kind of, it took me a little bit to work it up. It's already old news. The drones are
Yeah.
gone. We don't
Right.
have drones out
Right.
here anymore.
Right. So the drones are gone. Just on a
Yeah,
penny.
there's no more drone sightings.
That's insane. Wow. Um, So yeah, I thought, well, let's see what we can come up with. We'll
Okay,
and let's see. So I'm gonna share a screen here, and not be self-promoting at all, but I'm sharing this because I want people to see this little resource. So this is michaelhalcomb.live, my site, and if you go here, under the social tab down here, I have joke writing exercises. So if somebody clicks that link, it'll take them to this little now I'm constantly updating this, and over the next few weeks, I'll be rolling out, depending on when you're watching this, um, about 7 or 8 more activities. But I have right now a column that you click on these buttons, you can write jokes from headlines or jokes from cliches. So if you click like jokes from headlines, this will pop up, and this I have this tied to like several different news sites. So when you hit the generate prompt button, what it's going to do is just going to give you, uh, a headline from like today's news. So there you go. What to know about the New Orleans truck attack suspect, right? And then what you do if you're going to use this, you hit start writing, and it's got a 1 minute timer, and you just try to write as many jokes based off of that headline as you can. So you can keep changing it. Rosita Missoni, who turned zigzag sweaters into high fashion, dies at 93. That's kind of like, a funny thing. So, we could just use one of these, or we could talk about something that you've, been thinking about lately, and we could go off that. But there's a bunch of stuff still on drone. U.S. weighs ban on Chinese drones, citing national security concerns. Um, yeah, so all kinds of stuff here, and it's pretty cool. Tesla shares slip after first annual sales decline. So we could talk about the Cybertruck. That was a big news thing yesterday. So what do you want to do? You want to like go off a headline? Do you want to like share an idea you've been brooding over?
let's go. Let's let's promote what you're doing by taking a headline and coming up with something.
All
So,
right,
which headline? You choose the headline.
all right. So I can zoom in a little bit here. Let's see. A half-ton piece of space junk falls onto a village in Kenya. That's intriguing to me. So we could work with that, and we don't have to hit the timer here. Well, I can hit the timer; it'll stop. But let's just see. Half-ton piece of space junk falls onto village in Kenya. So if I hit start writing now, I can write in the box. What do you got here? What comes to mind?
So that the minute it hit, all their crops grew. Now they're eating it raw.
The minute it hit, all the crops grew. Half-ton piece of space junk falls onto a village in Kenya. Um, Ironically, the locals named it Chris Christie.
Now see you getting into New Jersey. All right.
Yeah, there you go. Uh,
So, okay, let's see. They they called the local law enforcement to try and write a ticket for littering, but they didn't know who to issue it to.
to issue a ticket for to issue a ticket for littering, but didn't know who to give it to. Oh, so that was 1 minute, man. It goes fast, right? And then this locks down at 1 minute, so you can't write anymore. Um, so I try to do this, quite a bit every day. Just I find it makes me think fast, right? Let's do another one.
All right.
So Naples, Italy. So you mentioned in part one you're from Italy. Here's a headline: Naples, Italy, a popular tourist destination suffering from violence and unemployment. All
You
right,
want to go first? You want me to go first?
go ahead.
So, what do you expect? It's Italy. The mafia, the Red Brigade. Just the crazy Italians in general. This it's probably a bunch of crazy Italian grandmothers running around with rolling pins.
Great. There you go. Crazy grandmothers uh, with rolling pins. There you go. Naples, Italy, a popular tourist destination suffering from violence and unemployment. Um, let's see. I want to do something along the lines of the idea of a tourist destination suffering. That's interesting to me. Tourist destination suffering. Um, what could it be called besides Naples, uh, since it's suffering? So,
Um,
Naples, Naples. I don't know. So that's just an idea. Is that nobody works? So 1 minute, right? Already up. So what else did you get? What'd you come up with there?
just basically that the unemployment's caused by they came up with recently with an automated meatball rolling machine, so they put a lot of meatball rollers out of business.
Automated meatball rolling machine. Uh,
Hey, what
here's
do you think they do in Italy? They do this all day with the meatballs. Now you have a machine pitching them out. That's probably unemployed 200 mama daughters.
There you go. Now it's called Naples instead of Naples because everybody's taking a nap. Um, um, Excellent. So here's another one. This gets a little maybe edgier here. A Gaza ceasefire before Trump's inauguration looks unlikely. So Gaza ceasefire before Trump's inauguration looks unlikely. Also during Trump's inauguration.
Well, you know, let's. Do we really want to get political? We have to get political on this one.
Yeah,
The ceasefire in the Middle East is going to happen. It's just going to move over to the United States during the inauguration. They're all going
yeah,
to take pot shots at his ear.
yeah, right. Uh, uh, Gaza ceasefire looks unlikely. Um, let's see. However, the ceasefire between Trump and McDonald's not happening anytime soon. Um, Gaza ceasefire seems unlikely, but Cybertruck fires likely. Um,
We just had one of those. Yeah, they're going to continue, I think.
Yeah, we just had one of those. There it is. A minute's up. So I love this, man. Just for Shailene Woodley, every day is Christmas. I don't know who. Do you know who
That's what I
Shailene
was
Wood?
just going to say. Is the thing I would start with there is who the heck is Shailene Woodley?
Um. So yeah, I mean, for Shailene Woodley, every day is Christmas, and for me too, because as soon as you say Shailene Woodley, I don't know what I'm getting. Um, I don't know, just a pun there. Let's see. James Carville. I was wrong about the 2024 election. Here's why. You can write on
He,
this is political as well.
he can explain why as much as he wants. Can you understand what he says? I mean, his accent is so thick, I don't even know what he's talking about. He just has this mean, bald face, his bald head like me, and just goes rattling this stuff with such a southern drawl. I have no idea what he's saying. So we don't need for him to explain why, because I don't think anybody will understand it.
I love that. I was wrong about the 24 election. Here's why. Um, yeah, that's great. Listen, he was also wrong about everything else, and doesn't need to tell us why. We already know. Um, yeah, interesting. I was wrong about the 2024 election. Uh, so was Kamala. So were the Democrats. However you want to go there. That's kind of an interesting thing.
I guess the reason why somebody slipped him a two-headed coin, and Kamala was supposed to be tails.
There you go. Uh, here we go. Back to
We talked about this already.
Tesla Cybertruck explodes outside Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. What we know. Um, People's pants exploded inside Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Um,
Yeah, it's just I guess a pre-inauguration celebration that they just wanted to start blowing stuff up to celebrate that he's going to be president again in front of one of his hotels, hoping that it wouldn't take the hotel with it.
right. Tesla Cybertruck explodes and ends up looking better.
Yeah, those things are ugly.
Yeah,
So
Tesla Cybertruck explodes, no longer eyesore.
I don't know. Maybe they were trying to send Elon a message. Listen, don't cut out Social Security benefits when you do this cost cutting thing.
Hmm. Right. Tesla Cybertruck explodes outside Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Um, and immediately coins start rolling out. I don't know, something like that. Um, or yeah, turns into coins somehow. It's got that like copper kind of like coin look to it. This is interesting, man. I love just batting around jokes like this. And we're not even writing,
Yeah,
right?
this is nice how you have this set up. It's really cool.
Yeah, I
I'm
appreciate
too
that.
I'm too lazy and non-computer literate to ever do something like this, but this is nice.
I got some really good features coming down the pipeline. Like I said, I have 7 that I'll be rolling out over the next couple weeks. So if you're watching or listening to this, um, come back. You're gonna find some really cool. So here's another one: jokes from cliches. So I got this random cliche drawing from like 3 to 4 thousand different cliches. I find this an interesting exercise or activity as well, trying to just write from a cliche. And I think it's a good exercise because everybody, we have all these idioms or sayings or cliches. So you hit generate cliche. It might take a second. This one's a little slower for some reason. I think it's because it's looking through thousands of cliches. But like for example, I just hit generate cliche and it says on the ball, right? And here's another one: many hands make light work, and she's taking the bait, so on and so forth. Here's one: waking up on the wrong side of the bed. What comes to mind when you hear that?
I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, had a bad day, got back, got back in on the wrong side of the bed to hopefully wake up on the right side of the bed tomorrow.
There you go. Waking up on the wrong side of the bed. Not sure whose bed it was, but it was the wrong side. Um,
Oh boy! So on that note, yeah, I just woke up on the wrong bed.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought I was walking to my house, and it wasn't my house. The door was unlocked. I
Didn't
woke
woke
up
up on the
to
yeah.
McGillicuddy.
Didn't wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Just woke up in the wrong bed. Uh, that's funny. Waking up on the wrong side of the bed. What Diddy said when Luigi was in his cell. Uh, I can eat
Waking
it.
up. It doesn't matter what side, as long as you wake up. If you don't wake up, that's a bad day.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one. Um, so let's see. Let's do a couple more here. She's out to lunch. There we go. She's out to lunch.
Okay, so yeah, um,
She's out to lunch and I didn't take her. She's out to lunch. I didn't pay, or I'm not paying. She's out to lunch.
Uh, she's out to lunch. You want to tell me stories about her dogs and her cats? She doesn't even have any pets.
She's out to lunch. Hillary's next campaign slogan. Um,
This is a tough one. She's out to lunch because I know we have to keep it clean. Um,
she's out to lunch.
uh,
She's out to lunch.
she's out.
Title of Kamala's new book.
She's out to lunch, and then she said she's going to come visit me in my hotel room. I don't know. It's a tough one.
She's out to lunch, and that's where I hope she stays. Uh,
All right, that you nailed it. That was a good one.
let's get one more here. Let's see. Uh, the ends justify the means. Bag and baggage. Pull out all the stops. If you some of these lend themselves to the inappropriate thing. So here we go. Can't say enough about him. There's a good one.
Okay, so when I was still in the closet, I couldn't say anything about him, and now I'm out of the closet and I can't say enough about him.
Can't say enough about him. My dad, because I don't know him. Um,
Oh gosh, so uh, who else can I say enough about him? Uh, my
can't
son.
say
I can't say enough about my son. He's such a good kid, and he's going to take care of me when I get older because he's still living in my house. And the rule is, if he still stays in my house, he's got to take care of me and change my diapers when I'm older. So I can't say enough about him. I don't know.
uh, can't say enough about him. My mute cousin or my deaf cousin because he can't hear me anyway. Um,
Oh my! I think I'm out of gas on this, but this was good. Let me tell you guys out there, if you ever want to try comedy, this is a good exercise. It just keeps you on your toes. It keeps you able to just look. In comedy, we're always working on a timer. A lot of people don't think that we're just out there riffing until we're done. We have 3 minute sets, 5 minute sets, 10 minute sets, whatever it is. But we get a light, and that gives us a minute left. We have to wrap things up and finish our set and get off stage. So a clock is a very useful tool to be able to come up and use. And the fact that you put that in there that's a great help. That's there's going to be a lot of up and coming comedians. They're going to thank you and give you credit for that if they discover it.
yeah, man, I appreciate that. That was fun. I was thinking we would, write a joke, but this was a blast. Just doing this with somebody. Let me ask you: Do you have like you mentioned a couple times that you have run stuff, run jokes past buddies or something like? Do you have like a comedy writing buddy or buddies or
No,
community?
no. I mean,
Anything?
I'll just go to the gym and I'll just start. I mean, and everybody. I've known people at the gym for years. So and they know me. So I'll say, listen, I have to run something by you. And they won't give me a patronizing laugh. They'll give me a
Right.
thumbs up or a thumbs down. And if it's funny and they laugh, I know they're really laughing because it's funny, not because, oh, I have to make them feel good. They'll say, listen, that was horrible. Go back. In fact, don't even use that. It was that bad. That type of thing. But
Right.
I just, I'll be sitting there like, well, be on rowers, like we'll do like 30 minutes on a rower, and there'll be people on either side of me, and I'll know them both. And I'll say, I have this. What do you think of this? I mean, what do you think of this? And I'll just run stuff by them. There's one I haven't done yet. I did it on the rower, and everybody on the rowers fell off the rowers. They were laughing so hard. I don't know how to incorporate it into my set yet. But it's a bet. Do we have time? Can I tell? Can I talk to you about it real
Yeah,
quick?
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
there was a company called Sharper Image. Now they're still out there with a catalog. But they used to have stores. They used to be a big company, but they were in financial difficulty. And I figured out why they were in financial difficulty. Years ago, in their catalog, they sold a real submarine for two people to get it. It was a real operating submarine. Now this thing came with a 14-page operation manual, and I'm thinking to myself, the Navy's got to have volumes of operation manual. This thing was 14 pages, so I'm thinking they must have sent kids out in these lakes, right? Two little kids, and they're down at the bottom. Now they can't get up. So little Susie's saying, Mommy, the submarine won't work anymore. we can't get the submarine to surface. All right, let me call. Now there's like a 35-minute wait at Sharper Image. These kids don't have enough oxygen to wait. So, Mommy, Bobby's turning blue and he can't breathe anymore. And then he says, all right, I'm waiting. I'm trying to get them on the phone. We're going to figure this out. We'll get you out of there. And then the last thing, I take a sip of water. Mommy, I tried to, Mommy, the water's coming in the submarine. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to do this way because I don't want to spit all over my computer screen. But it's just and the way I did it,
Mm,
it just fell off the rowers, and it
that's
was.
great. That's
But
great.
I'm afraid I might get sued by Sharper Image.
Oh man, I love that idea of selling a submarine. That's so wild.
It's a
Um,
true story. They had it was like $80,000. It was a two-person, real operable submersible submarine, and the instruction manual was like this. And I'm thinking to myself, I've never been in the military, but I can imagine the Navy's got like volumes on how to operate a submarine, not
right.
this thing. And I just thought to myself, I think they go into financial. I have no idea why they went into financial difficulty, but I thought it makes for a funny story.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I got a couple ideas, like right off the top of my head for that. My mom, bought me this. Mom bought me a submarine for Christmas. Uh, she's trying to drown me or something like that. She couldn't think of better ways to drown me. Or, you know, how sick is it? Like if my excuse for being late to work is like the submarine issues.
Got
Uh,
stuck.
got stuck. The submarine wouldn't start today.
And,
Uh,
but it's a real thing. I mean, Sharper
right.
Image sold this thing, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know, man. I don't know that I would trust getting in a submarine with a 14-page operation manual and then starting to
Right.
submerge and saying, okay, is this thing going to get back up to the surface, or am I going to die in this thing?
Yeah, like the remote control cars have more than 14-page manuals these days.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, this was not remote control. This was a real sit in it and go down in the water control submarine. It was crazy. It was crazy that they actually sold this thing.
Drowning in disappointment, that's a cliche that comes to
I think it's
mind. Drowning in
things all
death,
over the country are
drowning in
littered with these things with the skeletons of little kids still strapped into the controls. I mean, you can get as morbid as you want with it, but I just haven't. I don't know. I just haven't had the.
You could do something there too with like mom bought me a submarine. Brings back memories of her holding my head underwater when I was a kid. Bath time, something like that. So my mind goes there. Deep sea disappointment. Um,
But it's just But again, the humor is in how bizarre the reality is.
yeah, right,
That they
exactly.
really sold this thing. And could
Yeah,
you imagine somebody using it as a commuter vehicle?
yeah, hilarious.
The sub wouldn't surface. I can't get to work.
Going down the Hudson. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that's a great. I love that idea of the submarine, and that they went out of business because they sold a submarine and it had a 14-page 14 page. You could
Yeah,
do something like it was printed on a home computer. It wasn't. It was like stapled together.
dude, this was pre-home computers when they sold this thing. That's this was like typewritten. Clara in bookkeeping typed these manuals out. Yeah, press the lever on the left forward to go up. Press the lever. Did I get the? I'm dyslexic.
Dude.
It's just crazy how but that's where people say, well, where do you get your material? It's just
Yeah,
we see the same thing other people see, but we process it differently. We
dude.
process it.
Yeah, speaking of, just a callback moment here. You could do that. Everybody in Jersey's like worried about these drones. What about, Sharper Image selling submarines? Like, I think we should, be worried about that. So that's kind of interesting.
You have these little terrorist children riding around these submarines with real launchable missiles. I don't know if it had real launchable missiles, but it really did
That
submerge.
that's amazing. Well, man, Joe, it's been super fun hanging out with you in these episodes. Just yeah, hearing your jokes and doing some jokes together. And man, I'm excited for your success. You're doing some great stuff. So kudos to you on that, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. So check out Scrocca Entertainment. Is it Scrocca Entertainment Group?
It's ScroccaEntertainmentGroup.com, and then just Joe Scrocca Comedy for all the social media sites.
Yeah, all right. Joe Scrocca Comedy for. So you have two different sites there. Oh yeah, Joe Scrocca. Is
Yeah,
that
Joe
Scrocca?
Scrocca Entertainment Group is more. It's my website. It's more for business to business, but anybody
Right.
can check it out. But there's a lot of boring stuff that the general public wouldn't want to
Right.
see. So Joe Scrocca Comedy just has like clips. It has a show schedule, stuff like that. So that would be the better place for people to go. But anybody's welcome to go to Joe, ScroccaEntertainmentGroup.com.
Is it Joe Scrocca Comedy.com?
No, it's just Joe Scrocca Comedy, and that's on Facebook, Instagram,
Gotcha.
TikTok, and YouTube.
All right. So Joe Scrocca Comedy. Let me see if I'm gonna pull up the page here, just so maybe some people
Yeah,
watching.
if you do Linktree, Joe Scrocca Comedy, or you can do Joe Scrocca Comedy. You can pull up the Instagram. Yep, there's that's the Facebook page. Yep.
Awesome. Yeah. So you guys go follow Joe on all the things. And he's on all the social media stuff. And here's the Facebook page if you're watching, and yeah, go follow him and keep up with him. Joe, man, it's great connecting. I'd love to have you on again and to talk again. It's fun. Is this
Anytime, I loved it. And I'm like
yeah,
I said, I'm honored to be your first guest on this podcast.
yeah,
So that's
man.
pretty cool.
It's always fun just chopping it up and doing jokes and laughing with others. So but hey man, happy new year to you, best to you in 2025. Sounds like you already got some
Right.
successes under the belt and some great things on the horizon. So well done on that, congrats. And yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. After you check out Joe Scrocca Comedy and ScroccaEntertainmentGroup.com, head over and check out Micahel and you can follow me on all the social stuff there too, from the YouTube page and on the website. Lots of articles, daily articles, and stuff like that. So I post daily on almost all the social stuff. So all right, we're gonna wrap it up here, and hey, we'll say we hope that helps.
It's all messed up, yeah. Everything's messed up. We're going from this mess up to the next setup. Everything seems so messed up, but it's just not.